Mm?
I'm gonna leave at 1:30. I got doctor's appointment.
Okay.
You got lots of days today.
We're almost done.
No.
We're ready.
Good morning. This is call number 2020-30875 in the interest of Carmelo Devon Mills. All parties, please raise your right hands to be sworn. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, ma'am. Please state your name and your relationship to the child.
Tamika DeBlanc. I'm his mother.
All right. And for the state?
Angela Jeffries, Your Honor.
Court will note that the non-custodial parent is Cornelius Jerome Mills.
Correct.
Mr. Mills was served on October 6, 2020. At 4043 Rushcroft Drive, Houston, Harris County, Texas. And he's not filed an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Jeffries?
He is not, Your Honor.
Mr. Mills was given further notice of this Zoom hearing by certified mail. Return receipt requested that was delivered on November 19th, 2020, and he's not checked in. Is that correct, Ms. Jeffries?
He is not, Your Honor.
All right, we'll proceed by default.
Thank you, Your Honor. Now call my first witness, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. The state calls Tamika Lynn DeBlanc. Ms. DeBlanc, you are the mother of Carmelo Devon Mills. Is that correct?
Correct.
How old is Carmelo?
He's 6.
All right. And who do you allege is the father of Carmelo Devon Mills?
Mr. Mills, Cornelius Mills.
All right. Now, have you ever held doubt that anyone else was the father of Carmelo?
And no, I have not.
Were you intimate with anyone else around the time that Carmelo was conceived?
And no, I was not.
Or have you ever been married in the last 6 years, ma'am?
Can you repeat that?
Have you ever been married in the last 6 years, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay. Were you married in 2014 when Carmelo was conceived?
And no, I was not.
All right. And so are you asking this court to find that Mr. Mr. Mills is the father of this child?
Yes, he is.
Now, as far as conservatorship and making decisions regarding Carmelo, who makes the day-to-day decisions regarding Carmelo?
I do.
All right. Has Mr. Mills ever participated in the decision making?
No, he has not.
All right. Has he ever reached out to be a part of the child's life as far as the decision making?
No, he has not.
All right. So are you asking this court to appoint you as the sole managing conservator of Carmelo?
Correct.
Do you believe this to be in the best interest of the child, ma'am?
Correct.
Do you currently reside in Harris County, ma'am?
Yes.
Do you understand that you will be geographically restricted to reside in Harris County or contiguous county until further orders of the court?
Yes.
All right, or until this child turns 18?
Yes.
Now, as far as visitation, when's the last time that Mr. Mills seen his son?
About 3.5 months ago.
Okay. Are you okay with Mr. Mills having overnight visitation with Carmelo first, third, and fifth weekends, ma'am?
Yes.
All right. Now, as far as health insurance, do you have any private health insurance available for this child, ma'am?
No.
Now, going back to visitation, you're asking that the visitation will occur somewhere else other than your home. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right. And why are you asking this court that pickup and drop off not happen at your house?
Because I don't want him to know where I live at. He went to prison for 4 years for assault on me. So I just for
So you're
that purpose.
okay, so you're asking this court to not disclose your address in this order or
Correct.
going forward.
Correct.
Now, do you have any personal knowledge if Mr. Mills has any job at this time?
I'm not aware of that.
All right. And do you have any personal knowledge if Mr. Mills has any other children under 18, ma'am?
No, he does not.
So you understand this order will be based on a minimum wage presumption.
Yes, I do.
Are you asking the court to order a cash medical of $75 beginning February 1st of 2021, ma'am?
Yes.
Do you understand that the child support will be $213 beginning February 1st of 2021, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Now, as far as retroactive or back child support, has Mr. Mills ever given you any money for this child?
No.
And you mentioned that he went to jail. Is the retroactive period that we are using, does that include the time that he went to jail?
Can you repeat that?
Okay, I'm sorry. As far as the retroactive period, we are not including the time that Mr. Mills went to jail. Is that correct?
Correct.
Right. So are you asking this court to enter a judgment amount of $7,296 as of
Correct.
January 4th? Okay. And that
Yes.
$7 beginning February 1st of 2021.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And as far as court costs, if any court costs are billed in this case, who should they be billed against, ma'am?
Mr. Mills.
Right. Do you believe this order to be in the best interest of the child, ma'am?
Yes, I do.
Are you asking this court to approve this order, ma'am?
Yes, I am.
All right. Thank you. I have nothing further for this witness, Your Honor.
All right, the court will approve the order submitted. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Blanc, if you don't have any further questions, you can log out. You already have a copy of the order. If you have questions, just log back into the Zoom room.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. May we be excused?
Yes, ma'am. Are you there, Ms. Turner?
I am. Let me start my video here.
All right. And the mother is on by telephone, is that correct?
Correct, Your Honor.
All right, this is call number 2020-30868, the interest of Carlos and Julian Moeda. Parties, please raise your right hands to be sworn. You solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
All right, ma'am, please state your name and your relationship to the children.
I'm Carla Zapata Juarez, and I'm the mother.
All right, and for the state?
Marcella Turner.
All right, and Mr. Barrera, please identify yourself.
Arnaldo
who you-
Barrera, witness for the state.
All right, and court will note that the non-custodial parent is Brian Moeda, and Mr. Moeda was served on personally on October 5th, 2020 at 8:39 a.m. at 4410 Ella Boulevard, Houston, Harris County, Texas. He has not filed an answer. Is that correct, Ms. Turner?
Yes, that's correct, Your Honor.
And we're just proceeding with a no answer default. Is that correct?
That's also correct, Your Honor.
All right, let's proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. At this time, the state would like to call Ms. Juarez. Ms. Juarez, what are the names of the two children before the court today and their ages?
It's Carlos Molleda and he is 4 years old, and it's Julian Moyeda, and he is 2 years old.
And are you currently married?
Yes,
And who are you married to?
Bryant Moyeda.
And these two children, were they born within the marriage?
Only Julian.
I'm sorry?
Only Julian was. I got married while I was pregnant with Carlos.
But he was born after you were married. Is that correct?
Yes,
Okay.
Okay. So both were born after you were married. That's correct?
yes. I'm sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
No
All
problem.
right. Do you have any safety concerns, or I'm sorry, does Mr. Moyeda know where you currently reside?
He does.
And if you were to move, would you have any safety concerns with Mr. Moyeda having access to your current address?
Yes, I would.
And why is that?
When we split in March, he got physical with me, and there was a charges put on him, and he was also admitted to a psychiatric center about a month ago because he was depressed and having suicidal thoughts. So that's why.
And you split in March of what year, ma'am?
2020.
Okay.
And as a result of what has taken place, the assault or the pending charges, are you asking that this court order that your address remain undisclosed so that if you were to move, you would not have to disclose your new address?
Yes, ma'am.
You got to speak up for me.
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to appoint you as the managing conservator with Mr. Moyeda appointed as the possessory conservator?
Yes.
And are you asking that this court order that you be the managing conservator who determines where the children reside without regard to geographic location?
Yes.
And how are these two children currently covered for medical insurance? Do you have access to private medical and dental insurance?
They're covered under Medicaid with Texas Children.
And to your knowledge, does Mr. Moyeda have any other children other than your two children?
He does not.
And to your knowledge, is Mr. Moyeda currently employed?
He is not.
And do you know whether or not Mr. Moyeda is receiving any sort of income?
Yes, he's getting unemployment.
And you stated that your children were 4 and 2, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have safety concerns with Mr. Moyeda having visitation with these two children?
I do.
And why is that?
Because of the same reasons of him being violent with me and the whole psychiatric center thing that happened. I don't
Now,
feel safe with them.
Okay, and is that just for overnight visitation? Is that what you're concerned about?
Yeah.
Okay, so are you in agreement with there being some sort of supervised visitation for right
Yes.
now?
Yes, ma'am.
And if this court were to grant that supervised visitation, who would be the person that you would designate to supervise the children, and what is their relationship to the children?
It would be their paternal grandmother, Erica Asensio.
And so, are you asking this court to order supervised visitation, from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. to be supervised by Erica for at least a year from now?
Yes, ma'am.
And once that particular phase is over with, or a year from now, would you be more comfortable with these children having some sort of overnight visitation with their father?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to order the standard possession and access order to take place at the end of a year from now, today's date?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand what that entails, correct?
Yes.
And once that standard possession and access order kicks into place, are you asking that this court order that the exchange of the children occur at the paternal grandmother's house?
Yes.
And are you asking this court to order cash medical support in the amount of $120 to begin February 1st of 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you asking this court to order child support in the amount of $413 beginning February 1st of 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you recall the exact date that you and Mr. Moyeda stopped living together?
It was March 6th of 2020.
And since March 6th of 2020, has Mr. Moyeda provided financially for these children? And if so, could you give the estimated amount that he's provided?
Only $700.
And are you requesting retroactive child support from March 6th up until today's date?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you willing to give him credit for the $700 that he did provide for these children?
Yes.
Was he in jail since you all separated?
No, he has not.
Okay.
And are you asking this court to enter a retroactive child support judgment in the amount of $3,843 as of today's date, January 4th of 2021, and to order that the payout on that judgment be $50 beginning February 1st of 2021?
Yes, ma'am.
And you are not seeking retroactive medical or dental support, is that also correct?
Yes.
And it's ordered to be in the best interest of your two children?
Yes.
And are you asking this court to approve this default?
Yes, ma'am.
No further questions for this witness. I'll pass the witness.
All right. Call your next witness.
At this time, the state would like to call Mr. Arnold Barrera. Mr.
Right.
Barrera, could you state your name for the record again, please?
Arnaldo Barrera.
And Mr. Barrera, where do you work and what is your position at your current employer?
I work for the Office of the Attorney General, and I'm a child support officer.
And could you briefly explain to the court a list of your duties as a child support officer at the Office of the Attorney General?
Conduct investigations and calculate child support and retroactive child support.
And did you conduct an investigation in regards to do those duties also include conducting investigations in regards to a person's financial income or resources?
Yes.
And did you conduct an investigation in regards to Mr. Moyeda's financial resources or income?
Yes, I did.
And what did you find Mr. Moyeda's gross monthly income to be in this matter?
$2,032.33.
And based off of that gross amount, did you find that the guideline calculated child support amount should be $400 dollars?
I'm sorry.
Based off of that gross amount and the net amount, did you find that Mr. Moyeda's child support amount should be $413?
Yes, I did.
And during the time period that Ms. Juarez testified as to the retroactive child support, what did you find Mr. Moyeda's gross income to be?
$2,032.33.
And that amount was used to determine the retroactive child support amount for those months in that retroactive time frame. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
No further questions for this witness. I'll pass the witness.
All right, ma'am. Do you have any questions for Mr. Barrera?
No, sir.
All right. Court will approve the order submitted. Thank you very much.
Thank you. May they be excused?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
What happened?
Sorry. I was reading a message and it has become apparent to me that some people do not listen in these hearings.
All right. Are you related to Tina?
Listen, Judge, I was wondering when you were going to notice a good
Looks-
laugh with somebody. That's why I kept cracking the smirk earlier, because I was like,
I notice everything. Looks good. All right. See you later.
listen, I haven't been able to stop laughing every time I see it, but the hair is a mess here.
All right.
Okay.
I'm out.
Miss Juarez, you can hang up.
I'm logging off too, Marcella.
Okay.